Tottenham nil, Sporting 2, Champions League second game. How are you, boys?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a bit like that at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll
Um,
say.
what are your thoughts on the game, boys, before we start going into a deep dive?
What can you say? Fucking decisively average at best. Like,
Yeah.
we looked the exact same as the Marseille game. Like, that's all you can say, really. We got lucky against Marseille. They got a red card, and we got two good headers. This game, there was no red card, and we got donezo in the last 3 minutes of the game. What can you say?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
bang average.
it's a bit deflating, but it's for me. It's more of a is this a trend we're going to be seeing from now on? We haven't been playing that well since the start of the season, so this loss is the first loss. It's not a. I'm not going to call for the head of the coach or the players or anything like that, but it's something that I felt like was coming for a while.
100%.
Uh,
100%.
we
It
practically
just
got
feels.
played all over the park.
Yeah. It just. Look, the only shining light from that game, honestly, was Lloris. If it wasn't for him, we would have got donezoed 5 or 6-0.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
played fantastic. He played out of his mind. And the two goals, what could he have done? The first goal, especially.
Well, he saved
Like,
it.
Oh
He saved
yeah.
us from getting hammered. So, I mean, that close range from Marcus Edwards that he saved. Marcus Edwards
yeah,
should have buried
100%.
that. I
That should
felt
have
like
been a
he could
goal
have.
for all money.
And then the first shot they had, where he tipped it over the sideline for a corner from a low shot, and then I'm pretty sure he made a diving save just before they scored their first goal. It was a lackluster performance, and there's a few things I want to highlight that I think people aren't realizing, and one of them is Romero. I don't
Yeah,
think he's fully
definitely.
fit. He's not. Ever since he came back from injury, he hasn't been the Romero where he would come charging out, take on players one on one. He'd come out of the line to catch people running at our defense before they could get too close, and now he can't even get himself back to defend, especially for that second goal where two nutmegs for a guy that just
Oh
come on
yeah.
cold, and he came on and nutmegged two of our players and scored within 30 seconds.
Yeah, fresh off the bench too, and you hit the nail on the head there. Like Romero, you've seen the last couple of games, he hasn't got that enforcer feel about him. It's like he's treading on eggshells not to get hurt again, or like you just said, Jay. I don't think personally as well he's not fully fit. Looks like he's been just put on the field. All right, come on, we need you. Jump on, try and do your thing. But there's a bit of a weariness about him that he's scared to get off that line and make those tackles. Which is it's sad to watch in a way because such a good player like that, but he knows he's injured and he can't make the runs and tackles like when he's 100%, which we're lacking it. We're lacking it. It's just hard. Like, what could he have done though? To be honest,
I mean, for starters, if he's not 100%, I mean, it's easy for us to sit there and say if you're not 100%, don't play. I'm sure that if I was a professional footballer and I had a chance to play, and the coach said, "Yeah, you're good," and I felt a little niggle, I'd be like, "Ah, no, it'd be all good." But I just think he's holding a niggle and he doesn't want to tear his. Pretty sure did he tear his groin or his hamstring? Was it his hammy?
I thought it was
I
his
thought it was
groin.
his groin. Yeah,
Yeah.
So for me, like groins are, it's painful at the best of times.
tender area.
I feel like he's just holding back not to tear it, or he's a bit sus on it. He started the season on fire once again. Shout out to Uncle Merv. How are you, bro?
Hey, Murphy.
What's going on, Murphy?
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty sure he was rushed
I
back
reckon jump
too.
on.
If you if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure he was meant to be out for like 3 to 4 weeks, and he came back after like 2.5.
Yeah, that's what I was speaking about that earlier on today.
And he went
I was saying
straight back
the
into
same
the
thing.
team.
jump straight back in and he's in again. Like, like as you said, like even if you're a professional, you want to jump on and play, but you can tell that isn't just like a little niggle. He's very unsure to make them runs and to make the tackles. So there's more to it, I think. But if you want to play and you think you're fit, and the coaches say you're fit, well, jump on and play. But yeah, he's still not Romero.
Yeah, same as what Delane just said. It's you can that second goal. What the fuck was that, man? Absolutely poor defending. It was just so terrible. It's how long before he's like, come on, bro, you got to start doing something. Yeah, last couple of games he has been playing okay, but fuck, has Doherty fucked Conte's wife or something? Like he's must have done something to put him
something's going on there.
I have this theory, and I'm going to go on a tangent here because I spoke to Lee a bit earlier today. We had a bit of a discussion because obviously Lee wasn't on the watch long, so I wanted to hear his thoughts. And I honestly think Conte's pulling a Mourinho move where he's purposely playing Royal to show how shit and how much we needed a right wing back, and the fact that Levy went out and got a right wing back under his nose, or told him this is the guy you have to get. You're not getting another one. And he's going, well, okay, I'll just play Royal then, and you can see how shit we play, and the team will suffer. And it sounds really ridiculous, but I can't see any other way why Conte would stick with Royal, purely because when he was at Chelsea and they got thumped 3-0 by Arsenal, he dropped people, didn't give a shit. He was like, see you later. Then he left there because they dicked him around. And then he went to Inter, and then he won the Serie A. Next year they sold his best player, and he went, "Fuck you, I don't care about the money. I'll see you later." Like to me, it sounds like he wants to build a project with us. He feels like it's with Tottenham. I feel like it's if you win a trophy, it means a lot more than if you win a trophy with Chelsea, Arsenal,
exactly.
City, United. It's we haven't won in so long, and we haven't won anything significant in so long that he wants to stay. And for me, I feel like he's playing certain people to prove a point. I feel like Son's still playing because Levy's saying he's our star boy. The South Korea, we all know about the business. He's one of the most, if not the most famous Korean on the planet. Always wins Asian Player of the Year. He's playing horrible at the moment. He was horrendous again. And I can't believe that Kulu's getting dropped.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. He's been by far sexiest player, you know what I mean? As well as Richie, but you're right there about Son.
I could say something. Kulu did more than Kane, Son, and Richie, and because Richie did 4 offsides. He was pushing, but that's all he did was 4 offsides. Kulu did more in his cameo than those 3 did put together the whole game. Kane's passes were shocking. He was all over the shop.
Agreed.
Son couldn't even get on the ball, and Richarlison, he made runs, but he was offside every time. Couldn't time his run.
There was a couple of times there where I thought fully confident Kane would have just had a pop.
Yeah,
but a couple of times where he had the ball just outside the box. I feel like if he was fully confident, he would have taken those shots, but he just kept trying to look for the pass and it wasn't coming off.
Yeah, I was just that's the thing. Yeah, you're right with that, 100%. I think the same thing. The Kane that we were so used to, I know he's adapted his gameplay under Conte as well, but Kane from outside the box, he would have cracked him. No hesitation. Just pick the corner, bang, and buried it. But
that's it.
It goes back to he's having to drop into that midfield because we were overloaded. They were bypassing the midfield. They were skipping past the boys in the middle. They were doing Dembele multiple times over, just kick the ball, drop a shoulder, boom, straight past. Marcus Edwards ripped half the team by himself.
Yeah.
He sent Højbjerg back to fucking Denmark.
It feels like we're very light in the midfield. With the 3, obviously we're playing a 3-4-3, right?
Yeah.
I feel like those wing backs, they drop back or they're called out of position a lot. It's just like the 2 in the midfield have to scramble to get somewhere, and then the 3 at the back are just not doing a lot.
But even so, with that as well, Lloris gave it to Dyer. Dyer, wanted to pop it up. We know what Dyer can do. Dyer can oof that ball up the field and they're on the run. But Højbjerg sitting there calling the ball, gets it.
Yeah.
Looks around for a bit. I can't make anything. Goes back to Dyer. Goes backwards again. There's got to be a time where, look, Højbjerg's been good, but I think he's at that place now where he's too used to going back or going sideways instead of going forward. You know, we need to get that midfield cranking and getting it up there because we've got boys up there that can make the runs, and you know, but it's just slow passage. That's what it is.
Do you know where we progressed most? When Cooley came on and he dropped his shoulder and ran past.
Yeah.
He ran
I feel like
past
we were
about
trying to
4
pass
guys.
through him a lot when we didn't need to.
And that's where I feel like I will go later on to Conte and his substitutions, and I don't know what his logic is, but the only other way I can think of it, if we're going to play wing backs, is you play a 3-5-2, and you either ask Kane to drop into that cam role into the midfield, and you play him as a midfielder, or you drop one of the boys up front and you play Basuma, Højbjerg, and Bentancur in the middle, and then you just have the other two come on to rotate or to add to the attack if you really, really need to, if you need a goal, or if you want to switch back to that 5-2-3, if it's not working, because that midfield we're getting run over, we're not transitioning quick enough. It's too slow.
Yeah, nowhere near. Yeah, it's way
and we're
too
getting
slow.
stuck down the right too much with Royal. Like the only outlet we have is left on Perisic, and it's reliant now on Perisic to get that ball in, and Royal just cannot cross. And I will note, as much as I've been praising him getting in those positions, the last 2 or 3 games he's had about 5 shots at goal. All of them have been either out or straight at the goalkeeper. Not one of them have challenged the goalkeeper to the point where we feel like he's going to score.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially in this game, you could tell we're getting fucking dominated in the midfield. I would have loved to have seen him pull Son and Kane off and then just chuck fucking Basuma and Skip in that midfield and be like, go ahead, boys, draw up that midfield. I don't want to see them getting through, and just have him Richie up front making those runs that we know he can make. Like
that's a good point.
There's no reason why we make one sub in fucking 90 minutes of football. We're getting dominated for 90 when we couldn't have put a fucking 2 great centre mids on, like Skip and Basuma, and just go, they're not getting through. Don't let them get through. I don't care if we draw this game, just don't let them get through.
Yeah, and Skip's very solid when it comes to stuff like
Skip
that.
and Basuma work their dicks off coming off the bench like that.
Well, I thought the Basuma should have started. They were winning so many one-on-ones. Like the fact that they were like every time they were one-on-one with Højbjerg or Bentancur, they were rolling past him.
They were just skipping past them like they weren't even there.
Yeah, and Basuma in Europe last year for Brighton was in the top like 2% in one-on-one duels, like winning 100%. Them. And that's his. And Conte's come out. Oh, actually, no, it might not Conte. Maybe one of the coaches have come out and said he's like really good at one-on-ones and playing in that solid by himself defensive midfielder. But we need to transition him into that kind of box-to-box that Højbjerg and Bentancur play. And I'm like, well, why not just have one of them play the role and him to shore up the defense? Yeah, but 100%. Also, why can't we go back to how Poch used to play? He used to play a 4-2-3-1 with Dyer and Dele Alli in the center defensive roles. With back then it was what, Chadley, Ericsson, and fucking Lamella or something behind Kane. And what he used to do is Dyer used to just drop back in attack in the back three.
Yeah. Alderweireld and Toby would split,
fantastic, and Walker and Rose would fucking bomb on. And then in defense, you'd have the 3 at the back. And then Ali would just box to box with Ericsson, and he'd go past Ericsson and past Kane to help out in the attack. So it's like, I don't know why we can't transition that into our game or something like that, a bit more sophisticated, where we're not just stuck to the same formation the whole game.
Yeah, it seems like they were not, like Conte's not really lighting the fire up and saying, listen, boys, get your ass in the game and hurry up, and that's one of the things where the subs comes into play too. Like I don't know what is going through his head in that situation, but it's just well, that's the thing. He's too unfit apparently,
It was at home.
In that same case, Romero comes back early.
Romero, he came back before Romero.
Yeah, but he's not.
He was training
coming on. He's not playing. You know what I mean? Like he's not getting no game
time. Would have fucking done great in that last 10 minutes.
He would have.
Just take Emerson off and go, Mora, run at him.
He would have run his bald head off.
Just just run at him.
If not, you go, look, we're behind 1 goal. It's fucking 3 minutes to go. Fucking, all right, we're going to take Davies off. You're going to have Romero and Dyer playing, and you just literally just say, you 4 at the back, you stay back, and then you just bomb everyone on with Mora, Kulu, Richarlison, and Kane. And you just tell Højbjerg and Bentancur, as soon as you get that ball, look for that ball forward.
Yeah.
and you get them to bomb on. Like, we need to have a sort of a different game plan because, like I said, when we play against a team that plays 4 at the back, we dominate them.
Yeah.
As soon as we play a team that plays 5 at the back, that can counter our wing backs, because we've only got one good quality wing back, and that's Perisic.
Yeah.
We can't do anything because as soon as they shut down Perisic, we've got nothing. We've got no outlet.
Yeah,
we've got no creativity. You're asking Kane to drop, and then once Kane drops, it's 2 against 3 at the back. But if if Royal's not doing anything on the right, pushing forward, and there were so many times this morning where I watch it, and I'm like, why isn't Royal on his bike already? Like, the ball, there's so much space in front of him, and he's just standing there, and then he goes, oh shit, I should probably run.
Yeah.
By that time, the left centre back sort of drifted across because the wing is marking, is marking Kulu or is marking Richarlison, and Richarlison doesn't matter run in, and then the left centre back's just like, I can just stand here because Royal ain't going to get past me. I don't know.
I noticed it was pretty big. It was pretty evident. We'd get the ball into their half, and we'd sit, and that ball would just sit just past that centre circle mark, and then we just had nothing like going forward.
Yeah, that's right.
I just felt like we needed another midfielder on there to just have that extra
push
pass
it up. Yeah,
because you have Sonny, Kane, and Richie all pushing up against their defense, and it just wasn't working because they're all trying to look for one. So we need like that center attacking mid, like I've been saying all fucking year, to just have that extra man in the midfield for that extra pass. That's all we need so fucking bad.
I'm going to put a name out there. We should have went for Ward-Prowse. And the reason why I say this, not because he would have started, but to have an option. It's nice to have that option of going, Ward-Prowse, we want you to play that creative midfielder box to box.
And he loves running, you know what I mean? And he loves pinpointing shit.
The reason why I say him is only because Madison isn't going to come over and play a part-bit role.
Well, that was true.
He wants the full game.
I would love to have seen Madison in Spurs jersey. I think he'd excel. Obviously, he's going to want to start every game, but you can't have that.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because Conte's system doesn't play a
But in a way, that'd be good. Yeah. That'd be like, you got to fight for your position, you know? But as you just said...
but if he wants to start, you'd have to change the whole
format. Yeah, that's right.
And Conte doesn't change it for anyone. No. And that's where it kills it, is we needed a cheap or a decent option that can be creative. And the thing is, I'm sick of Son being on set pieces. Like, I don't understand. He actually was better when last week against Marseille, where he was passing short, then was able to have a wider angle to put the ball in because they were more threatening against Marseille. Yeah, when he's hitting it off, even the free kicks, I don't understand why Perisic isn't taking it. It's, I don't know. I think Conte's playing games. I think he's Levy let him down towards the end of the transfer, and he's gone, all right, well, instead of quitting, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to make you suffer. And I want and maybe see a reaction in January, but I don't think Levy's going to do it.
No,
and that's my worry. I'm not going to go on a Conte. I think he does.
No, well, it's smart the way he's doing it, to be honest.
But if you look at everything we have coming up before January's too late. The group's already going to be over by then. Half the season's going to be over,
and the World Cup's going to be done. So you're going to play fatigue and injuries and shit.
Exactly. But just what we were saying before about the substitutions, who out of these subs going to come on and change the game? Doherty, Skip, Sanchez, Hill, Sessegnon, Kulo came on, Spence, Tanganga, Langlet, Basuma, Harvey White. There's like 8 defenders there.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's going to come on and change the game for us? Why the fuck wasn't Mora at least on that bench?
Absolutely.
Part of me wishes we didn't let Scarlett and or Parrott, either one. I kind of wished we kept one of them to stay. I know Parrott wouldn't have got a look in, or Scarlett, but just to have another attacking option. Like
100%.
I know Alfie Devine is doing really, really well for our youth teams, and he's like playing for England and stuff, and he's touted like a really good centre attacking mid. Why can't we just take him?
Yeah, he's that's not in exactly right. Man.
No, he's classed as an underage, a youth player, so he wouldn't need to be in a 25-man squad. But for me, it's like, just chuck him on the bench. Why have that many defenders? And I get they're all meant to be like Prem proven, you know, if they're at another club in the bottom 10, they'd be starting kind of players. We don't need, like, some players are going to miss out, and unfortunately, it's our attackers that are missing out. Like, we got rid of Stevie. He's been
And
firing
he's
for
doing well.
Ajax.
Yeah.
And I thought he could have done really well in this system, even playing as that right wing back role, because he is an engine, and he could have played that right wing back role. Doherty's a lot more attacking than Royal. So is Spence. Spence proved it on that fucking 2-minute cameo he had that he's willing to go forward.
Oh yeah.
Even if we move Perisic into the middle role to dictate stuff and put Cess on, like you don't have, like I know we've got defenders, but you don't have to put them on to replace an attacker. You can put them on to replace it and transition.
Yeah, you can swap the
someone
system
else
a little
out.
bit. Absolutely, yeah.
But we don't seem to switch formations, and I think that's what's killing us. It was like Poch. Poch never had a plan B. It was either plan A. If it didn't work, then we didn't have nothing.
It didn't work. That's it. Yeah.
That's what it feels like now. It feels like Conte's like, nah, this is gonna work. Whatever everybody else says is wrong. Doesn't matter what everyone else says. This is gonna work. It doesn't work. It's on the players. Like, no, sometimes the game just calls for something different.
Yeah.
I just think
the fact that we only have Hill and Kulusevski on the bench on a game and on a big game like this, an away game.
I think so.
Hill would have been good in this game.
I think so.
Hill would have been fantastic.
He would have been perfect in this game because he would have
run it. That's it. Just pick up the ball in the midfield and fucking run.
And just go.
Same as what Mora would have done.
Yeah, exactly.
Just passing through them just did not fucking work, and we just didn't get the point for 90 minutes.
No,
and it
you
lost
need
us
to
the
run
game.
at a team like that, yeah.
But what I've got to give them props. Sport and played sexy football, and it's not. I'm not saying we should
100%.
be playing that style, but the touches, the movement, like they just knew where they were going. The little back heels, the little nutmegs, the little.
They played out of their mind.
They literally played, and I sit there and go, you know what? Like we can always sit there and bitch about how Conte and the team and that they played us off the park, and they deserve.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
They deserve to smash us. Then,
like, don't take credit away from them because they did play. Like they played some sexy football. Like honestly, they really did. But so credit to them. I don't want to say it, but they played some great football. We just didn't show up at all.
They dominated us how we should have dominated them.
Yeah, 100%.
As simple as us being the bigger club. We 100% should have went there and played like they should have been playing like us. Very defensive, very scared, very nervous. But
well, the thing is, you look at these stats, and the stats doesn't say everything, right? They had more possession. We had the same amount of shots. They only had one more shot on target. They had a bit more better passing. Both got the same clear-cut chances. Both got the same corners. We obviously had the Richarlison offsides. But everything looks even, apart from the aerial duels where we won most of them. But they scored. They scored on a header, so we won 84% of aerial duels,
and they still scored.
And they scored off a header.
Yeah,
the fouls are identical. Yellow cards, like that is identical. It's just the fact that at the back end, one or two players. Funny enough, the defenders, two defenders were going up for that header. And they won it. They got in front of him and they won it and scored. And then the second time, two defenders got megged. And it was on the same
I thought they looked fatigued, to be honest, But
when you play the same team every game, pretty much. Royal hasn't had a rest.
Yeah.
Romero played every game. Dyer's played every game. Davies has pretty much played every game. Perisic has played most games. Sessa started probably once or twice. Højbjerg and Bentancur, if they're fit, they're playing. Kane's played every game. Son's played every game.
Yeah.
Like that whole team needs to be rotated. This is the point of having depth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's why I think that Son should be sitting back on the bench for a bit.
You're not wrong, D.
Yeah, 100% D. You're right.
It's what we've been saying for the last couple of weeks. Teams that match us in form, so we can't break them down. But then when teams like City and they do have bombing on wingers, but they do play 4 at the back and they play 3 in the middle. They play the 4-3-3. We seem to dominate teams with 4-3-3 because of our counter. So it's a good point. I don't understand it either. I just don't understand how this formation won Conte the league a couple of years ago, but then you got.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree though. It's just, why is there no second option? Why is it plan A or plan A?
Yeah, that's it.
Like,
it's not working for us, Like, honestly, it's not.
how can you like when we can fucking sit back, fucking 16 hours away from fucking Portugal,
Yeah,
and see what we're seeing? How can one of
Sorry,
the
boys.
best coaches in the world not turn around and be like, okay, well, fuck, this isn't working. Let's just play exactly the same squad for the next 45 minutes and go from there.
yeah.
Like,
Well, see,
it
the
doesn't
thing
make
is,
any sense to me.
yeah, it doesn't like, and he's just not just any coach. You know, he's a very well renowned coach, and he should
Exactly.
know as well. Like, if he sees the boys struggling, why only make the one change or the two change, and it's late? You know, you want to change it up now. Don't wait until the 70th, 80th minute to make a change.
Yeah.
If it's not working, the system's not working. Like, something's got to be done. Like, it's, I know it's our first loss, boys, and we can't get away too fucking angry. Oh, Conte, and the team this. But if you look back at the last few games we've been playing, it's the same system, it's the same way, and we're just scraping through with the wins. So like, it's something's got to be changed. I'm not saying call for the manager's head,
Like,
but
how obviously must say great night for Richie, but how did he look at that game and be like, nothing needs to be changed?
yeah.
How did he go into this game and be like, nah, that was fine. We can just do everything we need to do this game. It just doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
I really think I stand by. He's trying to prove a point, and it's at the detriment of the team. And Mourinho did it.
But he's going to lose the players if he keeps doing that.
I think he's probably told him in his ear, like, this is what I'm doing, and I need to prove a point here.
Yeah, but you can't. He'd only be telling the senior playing group. You wouldn't be telling everybody because then
it'd be Kane, it'd be Son. The only thing I disagree in, I don't see how Kulu keeps getting dropped. Kulu has been unplayable, and when he came on, sat there and went, he's our best player. Like right now, he's the only player in form. Richie's played well.
He probably won 3 of the 4 player of the matches for me in the first couple of games.
Yeah.
If anyone should be getting dropped, it's Son.
100%.
If you're not going to drop Son, drop Kane. Kane hasn't even been playing well lately.
Well, that's it. But you got to think that there are 2 highlighted, big name role players.
I think the same. From here on out, Richie and Kulu have to be starting. I don't give a fuck who you take off.
Yeah.
Start our 2 fucking best players. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Kane and Son have this period last year. Kane didn't
score
until fucking like December.
Yeah.
Son went for like 2 months without scoring and then banged in like 13 in fucking 10 games. Like, they have these lulls, and that's where Richie was meant to come in and be like, okay, you come in when these boys are in a lull, so then you can take the pressure off, and then once they're on it, you can all compete.
Yeah, that motor's moving.
And now it's like, okay, I get Son's son. He can play shit for 80 minutes, not 85 minutes. In 5 minutes, he can score 2 goals and win the game for us. I get that, but if it's at the detriment of the team, we're playing with a man down pretty much the whole game because he's losing the ball all the time. He's turning. He did 1 or 2 good dribbles where he got around a defender. That's it the whole game. That's all I saw. He's not making runs like he used to. He's not confident in his shooting. There was one time where I thought he needs to step on his right and just curl it, and he didn't. And the same with Kane. He could have stepped it and had a banger. He didn't. It's just, how long does Conte wait if he is trying to prove his point? And the thing is, it's backfired kind of because we're still undefeated in the league at the moment. Yeah. So maybe it's like, well, I'll keep going with it, and then eventually it'll prove my point.
That's what I was about to say. Like, this was a bad loss, but if we were 10th in the league, you'd be like, what the fuck's going on? But the fact that we're still like 3rd in the league and we're still undefeated, and now that we've just dodged Man City, like,
which we probably would have won, to be honest.
I think so too, but
we probably would have won.
I don't know.
I'm not scared of that game at all. Like,
same.
I was happy to fucking go into that game the way we were playing. But now, if we turn up that result against City, fuck me dead.
They'll be all over us. Anyone. Haaland would tear our back. If Davies and Romero play, so I don't think Dyer did too bad. And the thing is, I don't think he's good enough for the club, but he's doing his job pretty okay at the moment. I wouldn't say he's been our worst centre back so far. I don't know why Lenglet didn't start. Like, Lenglet should be over Davies. I love Davies, but like I said, to Delane this morning, we're playing against a Portuguese team, so it's going to be a bit more of a Spanish-esque type of team that we're playing against. Where did Langley come from? The Spanish league.
Yeah.
They're more technical. They're faster. They're not going to be as physical. Davies against Leicester. He's more physical. He knows they're going to be rougher. It's a British team. English, not British, because don't want to rile up the English there. But like, I would have played Davies on against Leicester and had Langley in this game. I feel like Langley's ball playing could have helped us transition into the attack better.
A lot quicker.
The game before, he was feeding balls through straight to Sonny.
Tasty. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So
that's what we're missing. Yeah, you're right. Exactly right. That's what we're missing. And I was saying to you earlier on today, yeah.
Maybe Conte's focusing on the league.
So in saying that, would you drop Romero next game for Sanchez?
I would.
I think if he's got an injury, I would. If he's got a niggle and that's what's stopping him, he's played poor the last 2 games. He's done stuff that he never usually does. He got Mitrovic. He should never have dropped off Mitrovic there. He never usually does. He's usually in there facing, he takes that ball before his injury. As soon as he got injured and he goes against Mitrovic, he took a stumble and then Mitrovic bends it around him.
Yeah. When's the last time he's made a sliding tackle? Before his injury, right? He doesn't like going down anymore.
Yeah. That's what me and Jay were speaking about this today. Like, back to the whole Romero situation. If that was Romero, like in his 100% prime, bang, he would have been out there firing.
Especially, like, I'm just thinking about the Mitrovic goal right now. Like, if he was fully fit, I don't see why he just doesn't sliding center for a corner.
Oh yeah.
Or he at least slides in front to block the shot.
Yeah,
he literally stumbled over his feet, and I feel like that's him not being as sharp because he doesn't want to hurt himself.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's what I think. I still think he's holding on to a bit of a niggle, and he's not 100%. If he's not 100%, Sanchez was playing well.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be scared to play Sanchez now.
His ball playing obviously isn't the best, but there's no reason why we can't have Sanchez and Langley can just pick up the slack of the fucking ball passing.
But what would have Sanchez done worse than Romero this morning? Nothing. Romero didn't put any good balls in. They just played along the line, and then that was it. So Sanchez would have slotted straight in.
Yeah, exactly. And like the side we were getting ripped on was Davies' side. That's where
towards the end it was Romero's side, but at the start, Davies was just getting Marcus Edwards, and I want to touch a little bit on him because he really showed what our wing back should be doing. Perisic does it a little bit, and then Kulu showed it when he came on, but he's 5'6". It's a little nugget. And he literally ripped the whole team, and he just ran. And I think he fucked up on his shot. He went with his right foot to try and. He should have just tried to bury it with his left foot.
His left, absolutely.
I think that was a lucky save, though. That was a fucking lucky save. The way he came off his boot was very fucking lucky. Yeah, just the way that Laurie saved it. It hit the inside of his forearm and then fucking bounced out.
Yeah. He deserved the goal. Like, he ripped the whole team. Like, he
100%.
And then when he and then he did the 1-2 pass and then kept his run. Like, when have we seen Sonny do that, where the balls actually come in at an angle where and the amount of times Perisic is calling for the ball out on the left and he's like ready to make a run and no one pings it in front
feeds
of him.
it. Yeah, no one.
Because 9 times out of 10 Perisic gets there, and if it doesn't go out, he keeps it in and transitions it, does a step over, either gets it on his left or gets it on his right, and gets the ball into the box.
And he's off,
But the amount of times I saw it where like Højbjerg would have the ball on the right-hand side of the pitch and they've shifted over to the right a little bit and Perisic is like looking to run and starts doing a run and they just go, we'll just go sideways to Bentancur.
Yeah, that's what he's been doing a lot lately, and that's the thing I was saying.
He's trying to get across the line.
Yeah.
If that was Maddison. Madison looks up and go, or even Ericsson. And he just goes pop straight over the top, and Perisic gets in behind, and he starts running a diagonal towards the byline,
puts it in the box,
like they did, and then he crosses it back into the box. And when you got Son, Kane, and Richarlison bombing onto
all day,
they're going to win
all day. Definitely.
But the thing is, we go to the left a lot because we're not confident on Royal. No one's confident on Royal. Like Cooley hates. I can see Cooley's face when he knows Royal's there. He gives him the ball, expects Royal to whip it in, or he expects Royal to give him a feed through, and then Royal goes, "Oh shit!" Goes back to fucking Bentancur or Højbjerg. Because he can't put a good ball through. That's where like Doherty did it when he came on last year, and he put that through ball to Kane when I can't remember what game it was, but start calling him fucking what is it? Maradocity. Diego Maradocity. Because he was fucking balling.
I think that was when Kane had that little nice diving header. As soon as he come on, he cut down the side and just curved it straight in. Bang! It was on Kane's head like a friggin' dime.
I remember this morning. I can't remember when it was, but I remember fucking Emerson did a nice little runner, then hooked it into the box. Yeah, hooked it into the box, and it went between the defenders and the goalkeeper, and it would have been a lovely little tap in, but nobody was expecting it because he'd never done it before on his fucking line.
Yeah.
And all three of our players just stood there watching, and I was just like, if that had been Doherty or someone who they know can cross, I reckon they would have been on the end of it.
Oh, they would have known to get in there, exactly, yeah. 100%.
Because they weren't expecting it from Royal, everyone just stood there and watched, went, oh, fuck, it's just
you don't know that he's going to put it in, like he hasn't given you that inkling or in any game. That's pretty much. He's going to put it in, you know.
Exactly. So why would you trust him for it? Why would you making the runs?
I said it to Jason earlier on. This might sound stupid, and a lot of Spurs fans out there, you don't know. A lot of Spurs fans out there would probably disagree with me and probably say I'm a dickhead about this, but Oreo, what about Serge?
I want to before we start on it, I want to shout out Brad because he called this at the end of the transfer when he said go get Aurier and he signed for free.
He did 100%. Yeah,
and Aurier would have been 100 times better in this system than Doherty and fucking Royal,
minus the cards, but
because
you know,
the thing is,
I'd take the fucking cards.
Yeah, I would. I said the same.
Like I said to you today,
yeah,
he's got Romero behind him, right? So he's not going to be in that box as much because they've got the right centre back. So all he has to worry about is bombing up and down that wing. If he takes a foul and he's quick, so if he's bombing on, and the amount of times he would bomb on when we were playing for Mourinho ball. And he scored a couple of goals coming in from the right, and he put crosses in. And he made mistakes at the back. But if you've got Romero behind you and you're bombing on, and Romero knows if I get this ball, Serge is going to be down that wing.
Oh, he's going to be off, on his bike.
And he doesn't mind taking a bloody card. Whereas Royal seems to try to be a bit more industrial with his defending. I think Serge would have been a way better fit if you just sold Royal, even if you kept Doherty and you got Serge in. That would have been an upgrade.
100%.
And it sucks because we had him. And we let him go.
Yeah.
I feel like the defensive levels of Aurier and Emerson are the same, but attacking Aurier is just a million times better.
Aurier shits all over him. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. He's not scared to grab that ball and go.
And he's played the system and he's played in the league. He played 2 years in the league, so he knows what the league is.
And I just think it's Kane and Son as well. Fuck. It worked before, you know.
With the level what we have, right, and I think this transfer window, what we've done is we've brought the level of our subs on par with what we have on the pitch. But what we had on the pitch wasn't good enough to challenge I think we're still going to get top 4 this year. I think we will come around. But to get that next level where we're starting to challenge for that second spot, to push for the title, we haven't upgraded. So what we've done is we've done 75% of our job. We've gotten the subs up to par with what we need on the pitch, but we needed 1 or 2 players. We needed 1 or 2 positions that they weren't good enough anyway, like right wing back, and even I'd even say one of the centre backs because I just don't think Davies or Sanchez is the best backup to Lenglet or Romero, and even Dyer. Like we can upgrade on Dyer. If you think about it, we need an extra 25%, and that's why I still I think it all links into Conte doing what he's doing to sit there and go, yeah, you backed me, but you didn't back me enough, and I'm going to show you where you didn't back me.
Yeah,
and we're going to suffer because of it. But if it means that Levy puts his hand in his pocket and gets us the players we need, then I'm going to sit there and let it go for as long as I can until I start losing my head. Because I'm not going to lose my head yet. It's one loss, first loss of the season, and it's the thing is Chelsea lost 3-0 against Arsenal and they went on to win the league. So this could be the game where Conte just goes, "I told you boys, you're fucking listening to me now. I don't no player power, no Levy power. This is my way." And I'm hoping that happens. And I'm hoping we go out at Leicester and we fucking dominate. Because they play a back 4.
Yeah.
Just touching on the Leicester game, I would love to see Skip start. I would love. He was our best. He was our best player before he got injured last year. He was tearing up that midfield. It's unlucky that he actually got injured because I think we would have done a lot better in the league if he didn't get injured. but
Yep.
I honestly reckon he has to start against Leicester.
Assuming him
I can't
will
see
be
him
our
starting.
future midfield.
I want to
can't
see him
starting, but
I
yeah,
can't
be
see him
good.
starting, but I want him and Bentancur together. I don't.
I would say Basuma. I'd say him and Basuma would be our optimal midfield because like Basuma can transition and Skip's got a good pass. I remember seeing him in what was it like for Norwich, like in the championship. I know it's the championship, but he was turning and pinging balls like he was fucking Xavi, like not even looking. Like last year he did it as well, but he just works.
He's got that great niggle about him as well. He's not scared.
I just don't think he's defensively good to play with Bentancur. I think if you're going to play Bentancur, you have to play Basuma or Højbjerg. But him and Bentancur are the ones that switch, and Basuma and Højbjerg are the ones that switch because I feel like Højbjerg and Basuma are more defensive.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I honestly would rather. I personally I like Bentancur. Højbjerg grinds me sometimes, but I would much rather see Skippy and Basuma finish the season because I think Skip has more potential than Bentancur does in that role. But I could be wrong. Bentancur can end up being another Dembele and being a baller. Like he has played well. He's been one of our better players
this season.
So
far.
Yeah, he has been done great.
But in games like that, where
Skip. Look at Skip last year.
He can't do anything.
Yeah.
To be completely fair though, that would if it was up to me, I'd be playing 3 in that midfield. I'd be taking Dyer out, and I'd be putting Skippy in there in the middle there.
I honestly think like Romero and Langley in a back 2 wouldn't be too bad. I don't know if they can play it, but I think that
I don't know either. But
I wouldn't be worried, if that was the case. To be honest.
Well, with having
if Romero was 100%,
if we're going to pay Basuma as well, there's no reason why he can't did what fucking Dyer did. What Dyer used to do when we were with Poch. There's no reason why he can't play like that.
Or do we? If they're going to do it, why don't just push Dyer up into the centre mid to push the 2 midfielders forward?
There's no reason for us to have
Dyer could play that way. To be honest, I like the way he does that, pushes forward.
There's no reason why we're playing 3 at the back when we're going forward still.
Yeah.
Like, do we really need 3 defenders for a counter attack when they're scoring on counter attacks anyway? Like.
Yeah, exactly. No.
I get why, but why can't we have Dyer pushing forward and then the right and left centre mid pushing in a little bit?
Or even Langley pushing forward. He's the better ball player.
Yeah, and then just having Dyer transition to the left side as he goes forward, and then whatever side they're going down, the other like that wing back kind of hangs back a little bit, and the other wing back pushes forward. So then if they lose the ball, it's. I mean, we're not coaches, so all this shit could just not be. It could all be theory, but I think there's options, and we have options. It's just I don't know why Conte isn't acting on it. And like I said. I just think there's a plan he's got in his head. He's walked out of teams. He threatened to walk last year. So he would know this isn't working to the way he thinks it can work. But maybe he's sitting there going, it's going to work. It's going to click. We just got to wait. We just have to wait to let it click. And, shout out to Expressions, fucking Royal must be rooting Conte's daughter, even though she's probably underage. Because I don't know what he's done to stay in the team.
Yeah.
So we'll jump on to the Leicester game because we've got to wrap it up soon. So Leicester 2:30 Sunday morning, Australian Standard Time. So I think it's 5:30 in the Arvo in England. How are we feeling after that performance against Sporting?
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a hard one. I hope Conte puts his toe up someone's ass or the team's ass. Son on the bench, come on as an impact later on during the game because it's not working with him. As much as I like Son, it's not working. It's not working.
Well, I wouldn't drop Kane because Kane's.
No, I wouldn't drop Kane either. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't drop Kane in that.
So I would leave him on. He's going to score.
Yeah, Son's definitely the one to be dropped.
But Son's going to be the one to have a little sit and have a little think, get his notepad out and see what he's doing wrong. But I'm quite confident to be honest though. Like I know it sounds a bit optimistic, but I am quite confident. I reckon he's going to come out. Conte's going to come out and say, "Boys, get the fuck on the field, play some football." You know, if not,
Lee.
Yeah,
on the bench.
I'm the same as you, Lee. I'm quietly confident about this one. Leicester haven't been playing too well. We look like we've been playing half decently in the league. Especially the last few years. Besides that one time we got to the Champions League final, and that was even with that was fucking a really scary game against Ajax. Haven't been the best in Europe, so I'm pretty confident in this game. I don't see why we can't go out there and dominate the game.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm not is because as soon as we finish this game, it's 2 weeks off. And I feel like if there's a rocket going up their ass, they're going to go away. And then if this is how they play when they're kind of not on it, if they come back, the first game back is NLD. And it's away. And usually lose it when we're away. And I'm confident we'll win that. I think we will counter Arsenal and because they play a 4-3-3. I feel like we'll counter that and we'll beat them. I think Leicester play a 4-3-3 too. So I think we're favoured in the formations. I'm trying to not be so like, what can I say? Leading with my heart and trying to lead with my head. I think Conte's going to boot them up the arse, and my heart says we're going to fucking flog them. We're going to score like 4. I'd said that about Sporting though, so I've got it pretty wrong the last couple of weeks. But then my head's saying these players ain't gonna they didn't turn it around for Mourinho, they didn't turn it around for Poch, who they adored. So what's to say they're gonna do it for Conte? But then the difference is Conte is elite. He's
that's right.
Top 3 in the league. I'd say he's in the top 10 in the world at the moment in terms of managerial experience and quality. So if anybody can do it, it's going to be him. And if it's not, it's 100%. They're the only other two that would change our fortune. So I think we are going to win. As much as I sit there and say I'm worried, I am worried. I just feel like the players aren't going to turn it around. We've seen in the past they haven't done it. But it's Conte. We might go out next week and he's fucking playing Hill, Richarlison, and Kulu up front with fucking Sessegnon and Spence on the wings with fucking Lenglet, Sanchez, and fucking Davies playing. Drops Dyer, drops Romero, fucking Foster in goal with Basuma and Skip. He might just go, fuck you all, I'm playing a different team. Which would actually be quite fun to see if we did do that. I think
it'd be different. It'd be different. Yeah.
I will say one thing though. So Leicester, only game they've won all year is EFL second round against Stockport, and they went to penalties. So this is 100% one of those fucking games where we go out and bury him. No, but this is one of the games that we go out and get buried. This is one of the games where we fucking come out and just they have a 1-1 game. We should just walk all over them, and then we just get walked on. And they just walk all over us and get their first win of the year collectively, 3-2 goals to 0, and we're just like, what the fuck just happened?
I didn't realize
that's Spurs to a fucking T, bro.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong there, bro.
Boys. I didn't realize they're sitting last. I honestly thought they were 18th, but I didn't think they were last.
That's.
They got belted by Brighton. So
Brighton are a good.
Brighton are they were a great team. I don't know how they're going to do it now without Potter. But
well, quick question on Potter. Do you reckon he'll do well at Chelsea before we carry on?
I think he will. To be honest.
To be honest, I haven't watched enough Brighton games to comment, but I hope he does well.
They flogged us, Arsenal, and United 3-0 each last year.
Yeah, I think he'll do well.
They're one of the reasons
I was quite surprised he left. Yeah, I was quite surprised he left.
He's one of the top English managers, and I think everyone wanted him to go to England because of the way he plays. He's not scared to attack. And Brighton, they're not in terms of funds, they can't compete, but they've done really well. Back on Leicester, what are you going to say, Nene?
It's just, like I was saying, it's just one of those games where I feel like Leicester come out and just win somehow. It's just so Tottenham to just bottom of the league Leicester, underperforming like a motherfucker.
Spursy way.
Yeah, then we just come out and lose to them, and we just went, how the fuck did that happen? We should have dominated this team.
Yeah.
So I can either I don't see it being a close game. I see it being one way or the other. Either we dominate them or they dominate us.
Well, the good thing is if we go on that theory of the formation, they don't play it. They play a 4-3-3 with Harvey Barnes. I think they play Iheanacho. I don't remember their team. But it's they only just lost to United though, so they're not a bad team. But United, I think, are up and down. I think that's going to be a.
I don't think United are a good team at the moment, to be honest. Even though they've won a few, but I don't think they're a good team.
But they can be a good team, though.
Yeah, well, that's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It looks like they're playing a 4-4-2 at the moment.
With who's up front? Vardy, Iheanacho.
Iheanacho and Daka. Vardy came off the bench last time I played out.
Yeah, I think Vardy's on his way out because he's obviously getting older. He's mid-30s, so he's losing his bit pace. I think he'll retire there once he finishes his contract.
One thing I will say is they have pretty slow centre and wing backs, like centre and left, right backs. So that's where Richie and Cooley would really attack them.
Take the pace on that one, yeah.
This is where I feel like with teams that don't counter our formation, with the five at the back, we kind of nullify their attack, and then because of how good Kane, Son, and Kulu and Richie can be, teams panic when they go, shit, we've got to verse three of them up front.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to worry about Perisic and the right wing back or Royal. Yeah. Well, no one's worrying about Royal, as you can see.
It has to be
exactly.
It has to be on Sunday.
I think so too. Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing. Give him a go.
If Doherty or Spence, if he rotates between those two the next 4 or 5 games, I can guarantee that Conte never chooses Royal again, and he ends up either sitting him on the bench or dropping him to the under 23s and says you can go out once you're finished in January. Because when Spence came on, he was pushing forward. He wanted to attack, and he knew his role was in it. He was off. I'm going. He was doing that for Nottingham Forest.
Sure, yeah.
And Doherty did it for Wolves, and he did it for Conte at the end of last year. And I don't know what's happened there because he was one of our best players when he got.
Yeah,
when he
looked great.
Maybe that theory was right. What you were saying though, Jay, about the whole
I
thing.
Just think
Doherty was there, but yeah,
you don't come out and say Doherty's playing super well, even though you wanted to get rid of him because you just didn't think he was good enough.
Yeah,
but he was better than Royal. Royal couldn't even touch the bloody white lines to get on the pitch because Doherty was playing that well. So it's going to be interesting. I hope the team gets to kick up the arse. It's the first loss, though. I'm not losing my head. It's just we haven't played. The thing is, no one's complaining about the way we're playing if we're undefeated in the league. As soon as we lose, everyone's head goes. My head's not going. It's just this question I wanted to ask for multiple weeks, and we have kind of touched on it about especially about the Sonny situation. It's just now it's time. Like, is there a reason why he's doing like late changes? Only one change when is he looking towards the Leicester game going, we need to finish before the international break hard. So that's the priority because I think we can win this group even if we lose here. Or even if we draw. I think he thought we scrape a draw and they just pulled it out of the bag. So it's I'm not panicking. I know you boys aren't panicking. We're all level-headed. We're just asking questions because
to be fair, we've been calling to drop Royal for fucking weeks.
Yeah,
I've been saying he's playing well.
He's had 1 or 2 good games, but all in all,
he's not to the caliber we need as a right back.
We have better right backs on the bench. Why the fuck aren't we using them?
Yeah. Well, better right wing backs because that's the role he's playing. Yeah. As a right back, he's probably our best right back, but as a right wing back, he's not even in the
Spencer
top 5.
to be honest, or Doherty. Give them 2 a go. I think we've seen enough from Royale as it is.
I'd like to see Spence and Cess both start on the weekend.
Well, the thing is,
looking at their team, they're fucking slow.
But also, Cess and Spence have played in England together. They played, I think, the under 18s and 19s. So they know each other. Like Spence already said before he moved over, and one of the reasons why he came was because he knew Cess, because they were both from the Fulham Academy as well. When they were younger, and he obviously went to Middlesbrough, and then obviously Cess came to us. And his twin brother Stephen is still there at Fulham. I think he's out on loan now into League One. But the thing about Cess is I just hope he's taking everything Perisic is doing, and obviously he hasn't got the right foot that Perisic does. But I'm hoping he sees the way he steps over and he takes on, and he starts implementing it. And if he does, and he starts doing the 1-2s with Kane and helping Son out, like if you have Cess bomber down the left, Kane 1-2ing with Kane over the top, then all he has to do is glide to the byline and put it in. The Son or Richard
Son's going to be there for sure.
Like we're going to score so many goals because he is quick. And if we're doing the same thing with Spence on the right, and Spence has got he's got good control of the football when you run. So I just think it's time. Or maybe he's waiting to this international break and he's going to go, when you come back, boys, we're going to fucking flip the whole thing.
That could be the only reason why I don't see him making changes, is because why would you bring all these fresh people on for one game and then have to yourself anyway?
Yeah. And the good thing is the players like Doherty, I don't know if Doherty's going away for Ireland, but Spence, Cess, I think Romero's going away, like our back three are going. Lenglet's not. So there's a few players. Basuma, I don't think Marley are playing, so I think Basuma's staying. Skip will stay because he's not in the England squad. All these players are going to have time with Conte, and they might change his mind over the next 2 weeks. But on that note,
hopefully that break does help him.
Yeah, hopefully. We're going to wrap it up now. Thank you, boys, for jumping on for this.
Are we just going to do a quick fucking prediction of the scoreline?
Yeah, I'll go. I think it's. I'm going to say a cruisy 3-0 Tottenham.
Oof. Okay. I'm going to say 3-1.
Fuck you.
I'm going to say 3-1.
I was going to say 3-1.
I'm going to say comfortable 3-1.
Yeah, okay. I'll go your one up then. I'll go 4-1.
Oof.
Nah, fuck you. I'll go 4-2. I'll go 4-2.
Call.
They score 2, surely. They
Make
can't
sure,
score
guys, if you're watching,
score against us.
Make sure, guys, if you're watching, comment in the chat on Facebook your predictions for the game. And make sure you like and subscribing to the channels, hitting that bell. Uncle Merv said Richie Højbjerg Dyer for the goals. I think you're a bit stretched there, mate. Make sure you hit follow on Twitch. Yeah. And make sure you're following the group on Facebook. And we're going to be uploading as much as we can. International break, we're going to try and get some stuff out for you guys. And then we've got a big one for the NLD after the Leicester game. So Leicester, 2:30 a.m. Australian Standard Time on Sunday morning. Live watch along. Hopefully all the boys can make it this time and get all 5 of us on. But in the meantime, boys, thank you very much for jumping on.
All good.
Welcome, mate.
And we'll catch you guys next time. And as always, stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy.
Stay Spursy, boys.